Live from our studios here at Adesa Way in Kanda, this is News 360. My name is Alfred Okanse.
And I'm Natalie Ford. A look at the top stories this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxipade, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Spray,
Premier Health Insurance, Calipo, and Nido Fortigro, your love, their future. Government appoints interim governing council for Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology as it takes steps to reopen the university in 14 days.
Ghana Standards Authority impounds consignment of fake electrical products manufactured by Chinese nationals.
Deputy Attorney General saves IGP from going to jail in contempt case.
Also, prices of petroleum products are expected to go down by 2% in the next pricing window.
And on the foreign front this evening, Ethiopian members of parliament elect Sahle-Work Zewde as country's first female president. We bring you the details of these stories and much more news here on News 360. You could watch us on DSTV channel 279 as well as 3news.com all across the world.
Absolutely, and let's go on to our first story this evening, where the Governing Council of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, has dissolved or has been dissolved. The university has been closed down following confrontations between students and management. A 7-member interim council has been constituted to restore normalcy in the KNUST and take steps to reopen the university in 14 days. It will be recalled on Monday, 22nd of October 2018, there were disturbances on KNUST campus in Kumasi, during which several property were vandalized. The university was subsequently shut down indefinitely upon the advice of the Regional Security Council. Foreign students, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, want immediate resolution of the current impasse also happening there.
Yes, Alfred. So following the directive of the President, this 7-member interim management committee has been set up. It's made up of these 7 persons. Nana Efa Apinting, who's the paramount chief of the Bompata traditional area, Professor Mrs. Rita Akosia Dixon, as well as Dr. Edward Bafo Boni, Madame Hilda Hager Ampadu, Professor Joshua Aikwa, and Mrs. Abena Intri, as well as Mr. Kelvin Sarr, who serves as the SRC, with the mandate of obviously assuming power of the governing council of the school, as well as establishing the causes that led to the recent student riots in the university and helping to resolve the differences that exist between the university management and the students within 3 months. Quite a task ahead of them, Alfred.
Right. And all the issues that has been raised with the members that constitute this council or interim council. I've been joined in studio by Professor Ransford Jampo, who is a political science lecturer and also the director of the Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana, Legon. It's good to have you, Prof. Thank you so much for making it to be. And if I look at the statement from the Education Ministry telling us about the decision to dissolve the council of the KNUST, they say that, as a matter of fact, the president, after receiving briefs, thought that in the best interest of the university, this should be done. I found out your thoughts about this.
Thank you. In my view, I think it's quite harsh. They could have found ways and means of resolving the matter without necessarily dissolving the council, because the council of every university is made up of institutional representation. There are so many members on that council that the president or the government didn't appoint, and so I find it difficult to understand how you dissolve a council whose membership, most of whom you didn't, appoint. And then the key culprit here, that, as far as the students are concerned, the key person that they are not so happy with is the vice chancellor. But dissolving the governing council does not mean doing anything to the position of the vice chancellor. And so, how
in
is
this case,
interim
this
management
interim council still have the power to recommend if indeed the Vice-Chancellor has to be sacked?
Well, I don't know, but the Vice-Chancellor is still going to be in office, and if you really want to do an extensive or thorough investigation, then you cannot easily also tell the Vice-Chancellor to step aside and all that. And so the point is, how are you going to have an interim management council working with a substantive Vice-Chancellor? How are they going to be cooperating and all that? And so my point is, this is quite harsh. A way could have been found to
Which other
have
alternative do you
I
think
think
could have been
I
used
think
in
those
this?
who were called in to intervene could have done a better job by trying to prevail on the Vice-Chancellor and then to dialogue and to ensure that a kind of settlement is arrived at. Students had complaints, they had grievances, and how to resolve it was the matter that should have dominated their discussions and their resolution or meetings that they held, with the various stakeholders. And I'm sure a solution could have been found in a manner that would have ensured that, yes, the governing council will still be operating, the Vice-Chancellor will still be working, and then the students will be happy. I don't think
if
much was done.
But prior to today, the National Youth Authority CEO and some other political actors actually came in asking that the VC should be sacked. And indeed, the NYA has issued a statement supporting the decision to have this council dissolved. Now, would you side with the likes of UTAG, who think that this is just a smoke screen to have the VC sacked?
Well, I don't know. If you look at what has happened, I mean, dissolving the governing council and not touching the Vice-Chancellor as he stands now, then it creates an impression. I mean, I'm confused about this whole thing, and so you are wondering how the Vice-Chancellor is going to function. And it makes me, to my mind, it makes me think that maybe it's an attempt to make him uncomfortable so that he himself would resign. But I think that whatever the case may be, even though I believe that the students genuinely had legitimate reason why they went on demonstration, and they may really have a case and all that, we could have resolved it in a much better way so that you don't set a bad precedent and all that. Because, I mean, my real challenge is this. The council, the governing council of every university, as I indicated earlier, is made up of institutional representation. UTAG is represented there. TEU is represented there.
But in this particular interim
SRCs.
council, UTAG say they don't have representation.
Yes, so then I don't understand. It means, well, maybe it's because of the situation, but then it means there's university statute or the rules of the game or the rules regulating or governing the university is being sidestepped. Okay, to deal with or do away with people who have been represented by their constituencies. UTAG, we selected somebody to be there. TEU have they have their own representative. FUSAG, they have their representatives. Students have their representatives. Now you have sidelined or dissolved that council. So who speaks for students? Who will speak for TEU? Who will speak for UTAG? On that council. So I'm thinking that it's rather a harsh, decision. I like the fact that, yes, if there is a security issue, the government takes ultimate responsibility, and the government wants to ensure that there is peace and calm. But I think that we could have found other ways to have resolved it so that, I mean, we
get on to it. Prof, thank you for your time. I'm grateful. Professor Ransford Jampo is a political science lecturer and also Director of European Studies at the University of Ghana, Legon. But let's still stay with this. The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, in Kumasi has been, as you might really be aware, closed down indefinitely following the violent clashes on Monday. Several interpretations have been given to the cause of rioting on campus, and already a group calling itself Concerned Students of KNUST is asking the Vice-Chancellor to resign. But what are the real issues on the ground? Evelyn Tengma has been asking and seeking answers to some questions.
The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is a semi-autonomous institution with Professor Obiri Danso as Vice-Chancellor and the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II as Chancellor. It currently has a student population of more than 40,000. The institution has existed peacefully until the idea of converting all male unity and university halls, as well as the only female African hall, into mixed ones. This decision, which has been on the drawing board of the university for years, came into force in the 2018-2019 academic year, spearheaded by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Kwesi Obiri-Danso. The decision was met with stiff resistance from both the students' body and alumni of the university. Students of Unity Hall alumni went on to file a motion for interlocutory injunction seeking to restrain the university authorities from going ahead with the implementation of the conversion policy, but to no avail. The President of the Republic was thus petitioned. Many are blaming the Vice-Chancellor for the recent violent clash between students and the school's private security. The students on protest march were said to have defied a ban on what they call morale on campus following the conversion of all male halls into mixed halls. But until the conversion policy was introduced, the Vice-Chancellor was praised for a number of reforms which had transformed the university, some of which include the Women in Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics project. The project produced 40% female intake at this year's matriculation, which saw 16,888 students matriculate in September. The Vice-Chancellor is also credited with several infrastructural and developmental projects, including modernizing the administration block, introducing security cameras all over campus, building bungalows for staff, constructing pavements, a walk path along the Mango Road, bought new lecture halls furniture, and gave the Pajo Stadium a facelift. He also ensured all the university buildings are painted the same colors, which was not the case previously. Professor Danso introduced a pass system at the Bomsu Road and tightened security on campus. The tight security, some have argued, could be one of the factors which had led to the recent violence on campus. Some are already calling for the Vice-Chancellor to resign following the recent developments on campus. But many have given a political twist to such moves to replace some Vice-Chancellors, pointing to the removal of the Rector of the Ghana Institute of Journalism, Dr. Wilberforce Gisa, and Vice-Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, Professor Mauto Avoke. The Rector of Wa Polytechnic, Professor Emmanuel Mafu Owusu, was also chased out of the school campus over alleged procurement fraud and abuse of office.
We'll stay on developments at the KNUST and bring you more on it subsequently. In some other news this evening, the Ashanti Regional Security Council this morning foiled a planned demonstration by final year students of the Kumasi Technical Institute. The students had planned a protest against the school's management over some concerns in writing their final exam. Here's reports by Ibrahim Abubakar.
The final year students of the Kumasi Technical Institute, KTI, are protesting an arrangement to write their examinations at the school's dining hall instead of the classrooms. According to the students, the dining hall is not convenient for the writing of the exams. They are also not happy with what they deem as expensive registration fee for the NVTI examinations. The students were massing up to demonstrate against the school authority for failing to heed to their demands. But Ashanti Regional Minister swiftly intervened by addressing the students to avert the protest. Simon Osei Mensah asked the Student Representative Council to submit their grievances to his office latest by Monday, October 29, for possible redress.
We've also had a meeting with the staff. Prior to that, we had a meeting with the management, and they are also supposed to collect all the grievances of the staff members and submit to us by the same deadline we gave to the students and what we gave to the principal and her management team. When we receive the 3 petitions, we will sit down and analyze them and then find solution to it.
The minister advised the students to always channel their grievances to the appropriate quarters for redress rather than resorting to violent protest. The president of the Student Representative Council at KTI, Samuel Opukweje, commended the regional minister for his intervention.
Thank God we have the Honorable Minister in our midst, the Regional Director of Education in our midst, who are ready to support us solve every challenge which we are facing. Thank the police corps who came here to support students who are not ready for violence. We thank them very much.
Several policemen have been deployed to the school to ensure law and order.
Oh, TV3 has obtained the price list of the restaurant that supplied lunch for some 8 members of staff of the Ghana Maritime Authority at the cost of some 10,652 Ghana cedis. Details are emerging that Bamboo Restaurant, located adjacent the Lux Suites Hotel in Cantonment, of which the current Director General of the Maritime Authority is a group chairman, supplied the food. Now, Komla Kluche has been following this particular story. It's come through this report.
Kwame Owusu, having been appointed the Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, is described by the website of the authority as having earned a reputation as an accomplished management expert with over 30 years of public and private sector experience in finance and accounting. The site also says, as the group chairman of Lux Hotel, he oversaw the expansion of the hospitality group from 1 location to 6 others in Ghana. A leaked memo dated November 8, 2017 from the Director of Administration of the authority, Rhoda Atia, to its Director General, Kwame Owusu, requested for the approval of 10,652 cedis as cost of food supply for lunch for 8 people. Then another memo issued on December 28, 2017 by the Administrative Director, Rhoda Atia, also requested for another 135,125 cedis for payment of food, drinks and music for staff and protocol of an end-of-year party. TV3 News checks revealed less than 100 people attended the get-together that saw some hard-working staff awarded for their meritorious service. So we attempted for some answers from the Lux Suite Executive Hotel, a 3-star hotel, for confirmation on the said payment. Managers will not release any information except to give out the cost of food sold at the restaurant. Then it was identified that Bamboo Chinese Fusion Restaurant serves food for guests to the hotel and customers seeking for meals. We also confirmed that the highest rate charged for a meal at the restaurant is 85 cedis for seafood platter for XO sauce, but it remains unclear the kind of meal served for the 8 people at the said lunch that cost 10,652,000 cedis. Per calculations, on the 10,652 cedis amount spent on lunch, it would mean that each person was entitled to 1,331 cedis. At the Ghana Maritime Authority on Thursday, management claimed they were locked up in a meeting discussing the matter. They will not speak to the news team on the issue. Questions on conflict of interest are now emerging about the role the Director General might have played in Lux Hotel, having been contracted for the supply of the food.
There's clearly a conflict of interest in this, to the extent that he is the chief executive of these companies, and there is procurement that involves these companies, whereas he's in a public sector entity where the procurement, ideally, whichever processes were involved, he should not be party to them, and he should have excluded himself from any such process. And that's not even looking at the figures involved, which also raise additional questions.
Questions being asked by many even transcend the issue of conflict of interest, as concerns about the justification for the amount of money paid as lunch for 8 has also come up. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, more on that subsequently. The Deputy Attorney General, Godfred Yeboah Dame, came to the rescue of the Inspector General of Police after preventing the sentencing of the IGP by an Accra High Court. Now, the Deputy Attorney General filed 3 applications which ensured David Asante Apietu was not handed a jail term or fined. Here's reports by Selom Amina.
The High Court, presided over by Justice Daniel Mensah, earlier found the Inspector General of Police guilty of contempt for willfully disobeying orders to provide security for the execution of a court order, which is the sale of a 12-block flat belonging to 2 citizens, Samuel Agre Jr. and Augustine Jechi. In court on Thursday, Deputy AG Godfred Dame told the court they had filed an application for stay of execution and a notice of appeal. He added that a 3rd application has also been filed claiming ownership of the property for the Ghana Police Service. Godfred Dame further apologized to the court for the absence of the Inspector General of Police at the court proceedings. The High Court 2 weeks ago convicted the IGP for disregarding an order to provide police escort to assist with the eviction of occupants of 12 blocks of flat at Medina Redco in Accra. The occupants who were to be evicted from the flat that are under dispute were police personnel. The police failed to comply with the order and instead claimed ownership of the property. Lawyers for the 2 citizens filed another case citing the IGP for contempt. The court, presided over by Justice Daniel Mensah, held that once the flat was in the custody of the court, it was illegal for anyone to sell or buy the property, and that the police should have done due diligence. The case has been adjourned to November 1.
Let's go on to our MTN video report. Our citizen journalist tonight, Herbert Ajogbele, reports of the ordeal that people go through when it rains heavily at Atebu in the Bonahafu region.
This is a river in Atebu Township, and this is the ordeal school children, residents, and farmers go through anytime there is a heavy downpour. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to the authorities to do something about this before it's too late. Citizen journalist Herbert Ajogbele reporting from Atebu.
There are many of such cases of people being cut off whenever it rains, and it demands that something needs to be done about it. But remember, you can join us as we put out these issues on the WhatsApp number 055-1433-044, 055-1433-044. So live here on News 360, we'll be back with some business news with Pa Kwesi Asare. Do stay. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the very latest in the world of business. My name is Pa Kwesi Asare. In our very first story, the Ghana Standards Authority has impounded a consignment of fake electrical products manufactured by some Chinese nationals. Well, the products, which do not meet the requisite standards, were found to be produced in a 2-story building at Abusoka in Accra. My colleague Godfred Tanam has the rest of the story.
Every single day, we are on the field to remove these things. If not, you'll be a joke. I don't joke. The job we have to do is serious. This country, the president is trying to get this country moving. And these are the sort of things moving on in the country. How do you move forward?
The electrical products, which range from cables, LED lamps, and many others packaged in boxes, were packed out of the building, which looked like a dejected house. The 2 Chinese nationals, 30-year-old Su Lun-yu and 48-year-old Shen, had some items in the house which suggested the production house also served as their residence, though in an untidy environment. Huge sums of money in dollars, cedis and yen were also found in the house, with vouchers suggesting sales recently made. The Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority, Professor Alexander Dodu, stressed the authority will not compromise on quality.
A lot of products are failed, but you want to put your energies onto those ones which are consistently failing. We went to their shops after we have fined them and realized that they were still selling those same things. So obviously it needed a different approach. We spoke to CID, got the necessary intelligence, we've come to the warehouse. And what we found here has been more shocking than we could have imagined. It's a whole factory producing what is presumed to be cables, but they are not cables in any form or shape.
He indicated the authority will continue to pursue those involved in such acts and suggested some solutions the authority will embark on to save Ghanaians from fake products.
We have approaches which we are announcing. For starters, we are beginning to publish the names of the products we have licensed. Yes, some of them will be faked, but I think as we begin to apply the strictest sanctions and go to court, and we have other means now of knowing whether it's our logo or not. Yes, we have other markers. We are tagging them so we can say this came from this factory. We are considering security features and can tell you that we are considering using a DNA approach, whereby you have DNA tagged to it so that nobody can fake it unless the one is really a very smart molecular biologist.
Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, Emmanuel Opoku-Echampong, put the blame on the doorsteps of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority.
All these things pass through customs under concealment. And we have this in the country that is actually going a long way hurting the people of Ghana. So what we are saying is, if you are a trader in the market and you are not getting market, please witness what is going on. The system is allowing foreigners to take over what belongs to the people of Ghana, which we the trading public, as leaders, leading the traders, we will not allow this impunity to go on.
The two Chinese nationals were arrested and handed over to the CID for further investigations.
In other news, prices of petroleum products are expected to go down by some 2% in the next pricing window. Players in the energy sector attribute this to the appreciation of the local currency against the United States dollar, as well as a fall in the world market price of crude oil.
Currently, a litre of diesel and petrol is being sold at 5 cedis 21 pesos across all major filling stations, including Total and Shell, indicating a hike from 5 cedis 7 pesos. The increase was in line with predictions by the Institute of Energy Securities that fuel prices would be increased by 4% to a litre based on its research on the October 15 pricing window. But speaking at a stakeholder engagement on Wednesday, CEO of the NPA, Alhassan Tampoli, assured there will be a reduction by 2%.
As of today, the Ghana cedi has made some gains against the United States dollar. The nearly 2% decrease in the price of diesel and petrol, as well as the observed 8% decrease in the price of LPG, will be passed on to the public through pump prices, again, all things being equal. That is how a deregulated market works.
Research analyst with the Institute of Energy Securities, Megdat Mohammed, says the reduction is possible.
From our extrapolation of the indices we normally use, the reduction is possible. It is 80% possible.
He, however, insists the NPA should scrap some component in the price build-up for fuel.
What we don't understand is the presence of a nuisance tax in the price build-up. It is a nuisance tax because the reasons which precipitated its imposition in the price build-up in November 2014 was because of a shortfall in revenue. But going forward, even in 2018, for example, government's own benchmark figure for crude oil is around $58 per barrel. And we believe that government must be willing to make the concessions which are necessary by sharing its windfall directly with the people of Ghana.
The next pricing window will begin from the 1st of November to the 15th of the same month.
The Securities and Exchange Commission wants capital market operators to be cyber-security conscious and ensure uninterrupted investment service provision to investors. While at a capacity building on cyber threats and countermeasures in Accra, the Director General of the Commission, Reverend Daniel Gbami-Teta, said this readiness will boost the trust and confidence in investors.
Cyber attacks have the potential to pose systematic risk to disrupt business operations within the financial sector. For Ghana, the threat is growing, as a recent study in 2016 indicated that there are more than 400,000 malware incidents, 44 million spam incidents, and 280,000 bot incidents within Ghana's financial industry. In this light, the Securities and Exchange Commission, in collaboration with the E-Crime Bureau, have held a one-day capacity building seminar on cyber threats and its countermeasures. The Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission noted that in the phase of technology, financial services remain critical.
Something as simple as an email with an attachment that, let's say, has a malware can bring an entire institution down. So the reality of the digital era and the fact that we are using technology for everything that we do, and the securities industry is not excluded, it means that it is very important. And further down the road, we'll be looking at how to also come up with a directive that will get our operators to ensure that they have certain steps in place to ensure cyber security.
Head of Business Operations at the E-Crime Bureau, Philip Debra, said the Bureau has put measures in place to ensure that the financial investment space is protected against attacks.
Once you start introducing technology and consuming the easy approach of serving your clients and your customers, you are also introducing vulnerabilities or weaknesses, that criminals can exploit. And if you look at the Securities and Exchange, industry, what they rely on a lot of the time is data. And what the criminals also need most of the time is having access to the critical information where they get informed and then they can act and commit the crime. So we need to create that balance.
A capital market operator spoke about the benefits of the seminar.
If you don't mitigate against cyber threats, and what you lose is your clients' funds, not only the financial aspect, but also the kind of penalties that the regulator would impose on you for allowing your systems to be hacked into.
Well, that's all for the very latest in the world of business. My name is Pa Kwesi Asari. For more business news stories, you can log on to our website, www.3news.com.
Good evening. Welcome back to News 360 here on TV3. My name is Anako Jafre with the latest sports updates. And Ghana dropped one place in the latest FIFA rankings released for the month of October. The Black Stars are now ranked 52nd in the world and 7th on the African continent. They missed out on the chance of accumulating points after their double-header against Sierra Leone in the 2019 Nations Cup qualifier was cancelled by CAF. Belgium have edged ahead of France to take outright top spot after the two countries had been tied at the top last month. Brazil are only one of two non-European sides in the top 10 alongside Uruguay. And now let's move to the camp of the Black Queens, and the Black Queens striker Samira Suleiman and Sweden-based Shafiatu Sumaila have been handed call-ups to the Black Queens as Ghana enters the final phase of preparation for the 2018 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Team captain Elizabeth Addo, defender Janet Ejiri and Linda Shun have reported for duty with the Black Queens as the foreign-based players invited to prepare for the 2018 Women's AFCON. Ghana's Black Queens have lined up 3 international friendly games ahead of the 2018 Women's AFCON next month after extensive deliberations between the Ghana Football Association Normalization Committee and the Black Queens technical team and budgetary support from the Ministry of Youth and Sport. The Queens will play Zambia, Kenya and South Africa as they step up preparations for the tournament. And Ghana's quest of becoming a complete sporting nation lies in the growth of every sport in the country. Experts have called for the selection of athletes at youth level and continuous improvement of their talent from a very young age. In a bid to cast our lens on how school sports in Ghana is faring, we decided to start in Kumasi, where one of the finest sports schools can be found.
Great sports schools are rare, a rarity that stems from a culture of putting academics first and shunting sports into the backgrounds. Only a few schools in Ghana have created a good blend between sports and academics. Talk of the St. Augustine's College in Cape Coast, the Pope John Senior High School in Koforidua, and the Presbyterian Boys Senior High School in Accra. But here, in the heart of Ghana's second city, lies the Tia Medea Senior High School that has become a huge name in the production of sportsmen for the country.
The school sees sports as a very important element in the school system because they say the sound mind is in the sound body. And when the student has a sound mind, then he can learn very well. So the generality of the students in the school are exposed to sporting activities to keep them fit. Then we particularly target the talented ones amongst them. Each year when they come, we take them through the system to identify those who have the potential. And we blend that with discipline because sports cannot be successful without discipline.
This is a normal Saturday morning at the Tia Medea Senior High School in Kumasi. Sports boys and girls on the school's field receiving instructions from their coaches, going through their paces with the main aim of achieving success for their school and following in the footsteps of some of the best in the country. In April this year, when Team Ghana stepped out under the bright lights in Gold Coast, Australia, 5 of the athletes who walked the tracks to be welcomed to the Games Village that night were old students of the school. Sprinters Emmanuel Dasso, Elizabeth Datzi and Ho Halutier, as well as decathlon athletes Achu Nyamadi. The school is currently the best in hockey in the region, netball and several other sports. The school's trainer, Coach Sabuto, who saw the developments of many old students, says adequate preparation and support from the school's administration is what has made them one of the biggest sports schools in the country.
The school supports us fully, and aside that, the 5 PE tutors do our best to help these students. We go as far as the northern part of Ghana and then the southern part of Ghana to scout for them, bring them here, do our best for them, motivate them, train.
The training is tedious, but it is a process the young athletes love. For them, achieving success on the track is the main goal. Their aspirations are hefty, but they believe with consistent work and support, their dreams can be realized.
When I came, I was only performing in 100 and 200. So with the help of the coaches, they changed. I also joined in hurdles, triple jump and long jump. So it has been going on very well.
I want to be like my past seniors, like Emmanuel Dasso, who has the opportunity to leave this school to the United States of America and do well, the national athlete as well.
With that brilliant report, then that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Anako Jaffe. Thanks very much for watching. Always a pleasure serving you. Good evening.
Hello, I'm Miriam Osei Ajiman. Let's do some entertainment news tonight, starting with 3FM's Jam in 10. Now, the search for the next superstar DJ will kickstart on Friday, November 2nd, as Season 3 of Media Journal's DJ competition Jam in 10 opens. Up for grabs is a heavily attractive package, but what qualities will the panel of industry influencers be looking out for?
Introduced in February 2016, freelance disc jockey DJ Wabs showed great dexterity on the turntable to win the maiden edition of the DJing contest. In 2017, DJ 10K ruled supreme after a hard-fought contest to be crowned winner Season 2. Of course, the winning package was mouth-watering, cool, plus a year internship with 3FM. Jam in 10 has helped discover talented disc jockeys across the capital and beyond. The show continues to unearth and promotes promising DJ in Ghana. Auditions for Season 3 will start on Friday, November 2.
Jam in 10 is in its third year. It's only expected that we have gathered a lot of experience from the first and the second, and we're putting all of that in the third to make it better.
The competition starts every year with the picking of registration forms, and so for upcoming DJs or even well-known, very popular DJs within Ghana, come and pick up the registration forms, fill it out, and then submit it to us. We go into the competition every year with 10 DJs, and so it's very important that we put together a board of judges who understand what skills a good DJ should have, interaction with the audience, and every other element that comes together to make a world-class DJ. We've got electrical appliances in there as well. We've got TV sets in there. We've got some cash in there.
Away from Jam in 10, let's go to the GMB house. Now, the 8 elegant-looking GMB contestants will be supporting a worthy cause come Saturday. The Pink Bubbles Car Wash is an initiative by the Media General Group. It will see the poised GMB queens wash cars to raise an amount of 10,000 cedis to support the breast cancer unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Come Saturday, all roads lead to the Accra Mall as the GMB queens storm the venue to wash cars to raise funds for a worthy cause. All year, patrons will have their cars brightened and pampered by the smart and gorgeous-looking queens, and in turn, pay a token to support the cost of treatment of Cecilia Johnson, a cancer patient.
We've led this bold initiative to raise awareness about breast cancer. We are crowning it all on Saturday with what we call Pink Bubbles Charity Car Wash, in aid of raising funds for a patient who desperately needs to go through breast cancer treatment.
The much talked about initiative will again see the ladies join experts to raise awareness about breast cancer. The Pink Bubbles Celebrity Car Wash will be made more exciting with irresistible music, fun games, and of course a photo moment with contestants and your favorite TV personality.
So we are looking to raise 10,000 cedis, which is a very modest amount. I'm confident we'll be able to raise more. Aside the car wash itself, there are a host of exciting activities. We have lots of music, we have a lot of celebrities coming to show their support, to show their love. So there will be some live performances, but there will be lots to eat, there will be lots to drink, there will be games, there will be fun activities for the kids. So
the ladies look all geared up for Saturday's event.
We've been practicing for a week now and we are very ready. Just come with your cars as we have fun and raise funds to support patients who need the breast cancer surgery.
Others shared their expectations.
I'm expecting different types of cars to come and park, so we do some little washing for them. With the celebrities, I'm expecting to see Sarkodie. I want to wash his car. I want him to come, so you should just come and then park his car, and I will do the washing personally.
I'm expecting to see R2Bs, Fancy Gadam Macasio, and then we are looking forward to watch the Ferraris, the Bugattis.
You know, watch the Benz. Wait till we get.
So do join us on Saturday at the Crown Mall and have your car washed and support a worthy cause. I'm Miriam Osei Ajman. That's about it for entertainment news. Good evening.
Thanks, Miriam. Will be exciting. I'll be there as well.
I definitely will be there as well. But I want to say thank you for staying with us here on News 360. My name is Alfred Okansi.
I'm Natalie Forts. There's more on 3news.com. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening.